Advertising.
Countdown to kickoff. Scouting report. Presented by BetRivers.com.
Hello, everybody. Welcome back here at Countdown to Kickoff. Anthony Calhoun alongside here with our Colts insider. You all know the face here. Colts insider Zach Keefer here with us this morning as we get ready for the Colts and the Bears. Coming up today, a late start today, 4:25 out there in Chicago. Of course, CTK will continue all the way up to noon here. So just sit back, relax, and hear from the man himself. All right, great seeing you as always. And here we go. The Colts 2-1 on the season against an undefeated Bears team. Let's start first with the time change. We know this game is kicking off a little later. It's supposed to start at 1 o'clock, but due to those positive COVID-19 tests with the Patriots and, of course, with the Chiefs, it's going to cause the Colts to go to 4:25. Any concern there at all?
No, it's just a little bit more time for the players to prepare. Probably a little bit more time to kill during the afternoon. Maybe they get an afternoon nap in. But they had meetings last night. They'll be good to go today for a 4:30 kickoff. All
right, so here we go. Bears and the Colts. This Colts team has struggled on the road for some time. Give me your assessment on as you get ready to watch this matchup against the Bears. As far as where the Colts are as a team right now, 2 wins in a row, feeling pretty good going in this game?
Yeah, and this is a game you've got circled, right? And maybe the Bears aren't really a really good 3-0 team, but it's still a team that's going to be a step up from what you saw last week against the Jets, who are terrible, and 2 weeks ago against the Vikings. This is a great measuring stick for the Colts. I don't care that the Bears are 3-0 and no one believes they're good. They're an undefeated team. This is a sneaky good game on the NFL schedule today, and the Colts need to finally find a way to win a game on the road. They haven't done that since October of last year against Kansas City.
Okay, so let's take a look at this Bears team. Of course, the big story going in Chicago this week, Nick Foles, the quarterback here for the Chicago Bears, and we know he came in last week against the Falcons, stole the job, and got it done. And when you look at Nick Foles, what concerns you about him? We know he's won a Super Bowl with Frank Reich, of course, when they were with the Eagles, but what concerns you about him and this offense when it comes to the Bears?
Yeah, to hear Frank Reich describe it, Nick Foles is the greatest quarterback in the league right now. He's a great deep ball passer. He's magic in the pocket. I'm going to pump the brakes a little bit, right? This is a guy that lost the quarterback job to Mitch Trubisky during the preseason. There's a reason for that. Look, he's magic in the fourth quarters. We've all seen that over the years. He's not an elite quarterback. The Colts have feasted on mediocre quarterbacks the last 2 weeks. I think they do a little bit more of the same today. Now, Foles is going to be a step up. He is good at the deep ball. He does have some weapons in Allen Robinson and Jimmy Grant at tight end. But look, this is not an upper echelon quarterback. This is a guy they can put pressure on up the middle with DeForest Buckner. So I think the Bears are going to come back to life today because of the Colts defense.
You think so? And do you think a little inside knowledge from Frank Reich gives them an edge of how to deal with Nick Foles?
100%. Now think about this. Matt Eberflus, the Colts defensive coordinator, basically runs the show on defense, right? Frank Reich will pop his head in from time to time. What's different this week is Frank is so familiar with Nick Foles. So he would spend more time with the offense, more time playing with the defense, figuring out what Foles is good at, what he's not good at. No one knows it better than Frank Reich.
All right, that should be interesting to see that little matchup there with the Colts defense dealing there with Nick Foles, who we've seen time and time again, though, we saw last week, though, somehow find a way to get the job done for the Bears. Okay, let's switch gears here. Let's talk about the defense. And we know the guy who leads that defensive unit, their defensive coordinator, that is, and Chuck Pagano, former Indianapolis Colts head coach. From what you've seen on paper and then also from the eyes yourself, what stands out about this Colts defense that could be a concern here for Phillip Rivers in this offense today?
Well, look, this is not the Bears defense that it was 2 years ago. And I've heard it's a little leaky, especially in the run game. They're giving up 120 yards a game on the run, which doesn't sound possible with guys like Akeem Hicks on the defensive line and Khalil Mack, who's one of the best edge rushers in football. But look, there's a reason the Bears have been so far down in the first 3 games of the season, because they're not stopping anybody until the fourth quarter. Now, look, the Colts are going to run the ball with Jonathan Taylor. They're going to have to make the Bears prove they can stop them, and we'll see what goes. But, look, the Bears are not the dominant defensive unit they were a couple years ago, and Chuck Pagano is kind of they're a mediocre defense right now.
Okay, speaking of Chuck Pagano, we had a chance to connect with the former Colts coach earlier the weekend. He's looking forward to this matchup against his former team.
It's not that we don't have, guys that can't play it. It's just, again, I got to coach it better. We got to be on the same page. You got to communicate better. And guys can't break the line of scrimmage and not get a glove on a guy. And I put him in some tough situations. Like I said, it always starts with me. So we've got good players. I just got to coach them better. We got to be better. I got to coach it better. We got to play better. we've just given up too many big ones. So we got to be better. I got to be better.
I think the goal here, they got to be better today against your Indianapolis Colts. So we know what he's been able to do, though, when he was spending time in Baltimore, taking that defense to a whole new level, ranked #1 before he came here to Indianapolis, and now he's with the Chicago Bears. Right, before we let you get out of here, just for this segment, because much more of this guy here, Zach, on the show, but let me get your take here. Prediction of who you like in today's game between the Colts and the Bears.
Call me crazy. I'm buying the Colts defense. I've loved what I've seen the last 2 weeks. I've got Colts 27, Bears 17 today. I think they get it done on the road.
27-17.
You heard it here first.
Today. Heard it here first from the man. Our Colts insider, Zach Keefer. Great seeing you. He's going to be back with us here on Countdown to Kickoff. We're going to go head-to-head, with Ken Dilger here on the show. The kickoff. We're not done just yet. We're going to give you our keys to victory. And I tell you who we're going to pick along with Zach here today for the Colts against the Bears. Also coming up next, it's called Ask the Expert, where we put Ken Dilger in the hot seat and have him answer all your important questions about your Indianapolis Colts. That's still to come here on Countdown to Kickoff. And hey, don't forget, folks, to switch to Wish immediately following the game for live post-game coverage on the Real Mechanical post-game show. Frank Reich, Phillip Rivers, and more live here on Wish TV, the Real Mechanical post-game show. Switch to Wish.